Coco Gauff's inspiring move. How her $3 million U.S. Open win is revamping tennis courts. Candi's heartfelt reaction. The night after her electrifying U.S. Open victory, Coco Gauff's world buzzed with celebration. Her phone had been exploding with messages from legends, celebrities, and fans. Her trophy glittered on the kitchen counter, reflecting the warm Florida sunrise creeping into the room. But Coco sat quietly, unusually quiet for someone who had just won $3 million and the biggest title of her career. Her mother, Candi Gauff, watched her from across the breakfast table. "You're awfully calm for someone who just became a millionaire overnight," Candi teased, sipping her coffee. But Coco only smiled softly, her fingers tapping nervously on the table. "Mom," she said finally, "there's something I've been thinking about." And that was the moment everything began. The seed of a dream. While reporters asked her about her serve speed and trophy shine, Coco had only one thought looping through her mind: the old tennis courts in Delray Beach where she grew up. She remembered the cracked asphalt, the faded lines, the nets patched up with rope, the makeshift benches, the kids who shared rackets because they couldn't afford their own. Those courts were her childhood, her training ground, her foundation. But they were falling apart. And worse, kids who looked like her, kids full of potential, didn't always have a safe place to practice. While the world celebrated her win, Coco was thinking about home. In her heart, she heard Candi's voice echoing from her childhood. Never forget where you came from, and never forget those who helped you rise. That memory planted a seed inside her, one that had been waiting for the right moment to grow. Winning the U.S. Open gave her that moment, the decision that shocked everyone. Coco reached for her phone. Not to call a brand, not to negotiate a sponsorship, not to post on Instagram. She called the Delray Beach Community Sports Development Office. "Hi, this is Coco Gauff," she began. The voice on the other side nearly dropped the phone. "Coco? The Coco? Congrats on your win." "Thank you," Coco said. "I want to know something. What would it cost to completely renovate every public tennis court in the city?" Silence. Then, "Re-renovate every court?" "Yes," she said. "All of them. And build 2 new training courts." They scrambled to calculate numbers. When they gave her the total, expecting hesitation, disbelief, or negotiation, she simply said, "Okay, I'll cover it. You will fund the entire project?" "Yes, and I want it done right." The officials thought they misheard her. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure," Coco said. And then she added something that left the board speechless. "I want this done quietly. For the kids, not for the headlines." But even the quietest acts of generosity have a way of echoing. Telling Mom. Later that afternoon, Coco asked her mom to sit with her on the porch. The Florida breeze was warm, carrying the scent of fresh-cut grass. "Mom, I made a decision," Coco said slowly. Candi gave her a cautious look. "What kind of decision?" Coco took a breath. "I'm donating my entire U.S. Open prize money to rebuild the community tennis courts." The air stilled. Even the birds seemed to pause. Candi blinked. Once, twice, then a third time. "You're donating all $3 million?" her mother whispered. Coco nodded. And that was when Candi's reaction came. Not a scream, not shock, not a lecture about being responsible with money. Instead, tears filled her eyes. Her hand covered her mouth. Her body trembled as a deep, emotional pride washed over her. Finally, she found her voice. "Coco, baby, that is the most beautiful thing you've ever done." Coco's own eyes grew misty. "I just want kids to have a place to chase their dreams. Like I did." Candi pulled her daughter into a tight, tearful hug. "Your kindness is bigger than your talent," she murmured. "And your talent is already enormous." The city transforms. Within weeks, the entire city of Delray Beach was buzzing with construction crews, architects, and volunteers. Tennis courts that had been neglected for years were suddenly flooded with attention. New asphalt, new lights, new nets, new locker rooms, bright, crisp lines glowing under the sun. Each court was designed with intention, featuring inspirational murals celebrating Black athletes, areas for beginners, special training zones, seating for families, safe lighting for evening play. And at the center of the renovation, the brand new Gauff Community Tennis Complex, a gift to the city from its champion. The city council wanted to name it after Coco. She refused. Name it after the community, she insisted. This isn't about me. It's about the kids. When the news leaked, Coco had wanted her donation to stay anonymous. But generosity this large is like sunlight. It finds its way through the blinds. A city council member slipped. One local reporter connected the dots. Within hours, every major sports network was running the headline. Coco Gauff donates entire $3 million prize to revamp community tennis courts. Millions reacted with awe. Fans worldwide shared messages. Celebrities praised her. Young athletes cried in gratitude. The story trended for days. But the most emotional reaction came from one person, Candi, when she saw her daughter's face on national news screens, not for winning a trophy, but for giving back. She cried again, not out of surprise this time, but out of pride so deep it filled her chest like sunlight. The grand opening, the day the renovated courts officially opened, hundreds of children flooded in. Some carried old rackets. Some walked barefoot. Others came simply to watch. Coco stood at the entrance wearing a simple T-shirt, her mom beside her. No trophy. No glamorous photo shoot. Just her and her community. The mayor announced, a moment to remember. As the sun set, Coco and Candi sat together on the bleachers, watching the children play under the new lights. Mom, Coco said softly, I feel like I did something that will last longer than a match. Candi nodded. You did something that will last longer than your career. She reached for her daughter's hand. You gave them a place, a future, hope. Coco leaned her head on her mother's shoulder. This is our victory, Mom. The courts made me who I am. Now they'll make someone else. Candi closed her eyes, letting the moment wash over her. You're inspiring the world, Coco, she whispered. And I've never been prouder. Epilogue, what really matters. Years from now, when trophies fade and records shift, people will remember Coco Gauff for far more than her tennis. They will remember the girl who won the U.S. Open at a young age, the woman who chose kindness instead of luxury, the champion who rebuilt her hometown courts, the daughter who made her mother cry tears of pride, the athlete who understood that greatness isn't just measured in titles, it's measured in impact, in generosity, in heart. And Coco Gauff, she didn't just win $3 million. She invested it into the next generation, into kids who will one day stand on the very court she rebuilt, holding rackets, holding dreams, holding hope. And somewhere in the stands, perhaps years later, Candi Gauff will still be watching, still cheering, still crying tears of pride, because her daughter didn't just become a champion. She became an inspiration. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.